We stand with immigrants. You belong here. Somos una ciudad de inmigrantes. Boston doesn't back down.
That's Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has doubled down on her commitment to sanctuary city policies, criticizing federal immigration enforcement and calling out bullies and presidents who think they are kings. Her fiery remarks against the Trump administration come as Mayor Wu was one of the 4 mayors who faced Republican leaders in the House Oversight Committee this month, testifying on behalf of Boston's sanctuary city policies.
For more on this, let's welcome in former Milwaukee sheriff, author of Cop Under Fire, and NewsMax contributor David Clark, along with former senior DHS advisor, retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, and former Maryland congressional candidate Berney Flowers. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, Colonel, do you think it's a smart idea for this mayor, when she's up for re-election, to take the side of illegal migrants against the safety of her city?
I think that she is wrong in every way, especially with Mr. Trump in place. I mean, she had her day, and the American people deserve to be protected. That's why she was elected mayor. And from what I understand from the polling, 83% of Americans want illegal, dangerous criminals out of the country. So the immigrants, that is. And so they've got to go. And she is out of step with the American people, and she's out of step with the Trump administration. And I think that pretty soon she'll be having some sanctions against her, and she'll learn her way. But right now, I really believe she is wrong, and it's very clear to me.
That's so true. Why? Because money talks. So Sheriff Clark, meanwhile, Border Czar Tom Homan is hard at work keeping our streets and apartment complexes safe. Homan stating ICE and other agencies have made roughly 40,000 immigration-related arrests since Trump took office, the vast majority being public safety or national security threats. What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, that's disgusting behavior by the mayor, an elected official who takes an oath. And one of her most important responsibilities is to safeguard her community. And she is turning her face on that. Look, I've been to the border 5 times, 3 different sectors: El Paso sector, Rio Grande Valley, and the Big Bend sector. They made quick work. Tom Homan and the administration made quick work of sealing the border, but now the heavy lifting begins, trying to find people who don't want to be found. And they're going to need the support and the help of local law enforcement, because the local law enforcement know their communities and they know where the hot spots are and where these people can be found. So I find it shameful that these law enforcement executives won't assist another law enforcement agency. It's part of the code of ethics to assist all law enforcement agencies in the pursuit of justice and making their community safe. So I think at some point Pam Bondi is going to have to push the issue here. Look, there's a felony statute of concealing and aiding an illegal person in the United States, and that's what she's basically doing. The locals don't have to support and assist ICE, but they can't impede it either. Mm-hmm. And I think Pam Bondi ought to convene a grand jury, try to get an indictment under that statute I just mentioned, and there are some others, try to get an indictment against this mayor and lock her up. Look, that would send a strong signal about how serious this administration is with people who are going to get in the way.
The sheriff just made such an important point. The federal government can't commandeer local agencies to work with it, but on the other hand, these local agencies can't defy federal law. Mm-hmm. So, Colonel, we see that California and Washington and other places are purposefully limiting their cooperation with ICE. So what do you make about this big divide in the country? You see Florida and Georgia cooperating, and then states like New York and Washington and California doing just the opposite.
Well, the American people just spoke at the ballot box. It's very clear how we feel, and these big city mayors are on the outside of the agenda, you might say. The American people want to be protected. They're spending money. They're giving money. They've made their decision. And so now these big city mayors are going against the people. And I think that the president and Attorney General Bondi and the senior leadership have the ability to take away funds. That's the way to do it, the way I see it. A lot of the funding of these police departments and municipalities comes from the federal government. Take their money away, and their yaps will stop.
Interesting. We only have about 45 seconds. Is there anything you want to share with our audience, Sheriff Clark?
Yeah, look, you put the pressure on these elected officials, these public officials, to do what they're supposed to do and take the politics out of this thing and look at safety and law enforcement first.
Well said. We both agree. Well said and succinctly.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sheriff David Clark, Colonel Berney Flowers.